What's up, everybody? My name is Dresden Christensen, and you are joining me in the first of a series where I talk about anything and everything Transformers. Today, I have a nice treat set up with Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Flatline. Now, this figure just recently released in the newest wave of Transformers Age of the Primes, and I couldn't actually be happier with this figure. Every problem that I kind of had with the Red Alert figure, which I own, is solved and smoothed out in this figure. Now, getting into the real close-ups of this figure here. Now, we're starting in vehicle mode, but that's not how he's packaged. I'm actually first gonna bring in the packaging. This is his box, and let's get a nice zoom in on the box here as well. You can see him on the front. This is really nice. You got your box art going down a little bit. Transformers Age of the Primes Flatline, his name there. He's a Decepticon, which I didn't think I mentioned. Got his side here, same box art as the front there. Got turning around to the back. You got his transformation steps. You got figure product shots, more product shots. And then you have the Well of the Primes or Well of the Allsparks, whatever you'll use. You got the bottom of the box, information, barcode, top of the box. I picked mine up from Walmart. That's where he seems to be shelf warming a lot, which is a kind of a shame because this is a nice figure. I don't get why it's shelf warming. This figure will run you about $43, so that is a bit of a steep price, especially for Voyagers nowadays, where they used to be $30. Let's bring in his little cardboard prison here that I freed him from earlier. Nice blue, Energon blue, Autobot paper, nice little paper ASMR. Anyway, back into the nice juicy bit of the figure where we're all here for. Now, rolling him on screen and rolling onto the battlefields of Cybertron, Flatline. Now, he has pinned on wheels, so he rolls mighty well across the desk. He rolls across carpet, whatever you may have him on. He has some nice transclearant bits on the top here. Now, this is from the original Red Alert figure, which I'll put it posted on the screen right here. He has that little bit on the top, which is electric. It has lights and sounds the original figure has, and it had all kinds of fun gimmicks, and it was all activated by little mini-cons like these. Now, this is an original Armada mini-con. This is one from Siege or Earthrise or something. I don't know, I picked up at the dollar store. You throw it onto a peg that would be here on the original Red Alert figure, just like this, and it would look really goofy like this. The original Red Alert figure came with a crane. Really tiny crane. Now you move it forward and back. This one doesn't do that, but you would move it forward and back and he would light up and he would go, Red Alert, woo, 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 woo. I have most of the original Red Alert figure now, but child me got a hold of it. Oh, Lord. But turn them to the side here. You got your little heart rate thing. I don't know what that was called on ambulances. Funny because his name is Flatline. Turn to the front, Decepticon insignia, weaponizer port, cool little red vents. I think those are really cool. I like the asymmetry on the front. Turn to the back, you got your van doors. They kind of look like they're armored or shielded. That's pretty cool. But enough of the vehicle mode. Let's get to robot mode, shall we? Now, taking them to the back, you'll want to take the wheels and kind of just split it. And then bring these down. Bring this, actually, underneath here is his little, you move the camera up a little bit. You can't see it actually there we go. This little claw bit you're going to want to remove. You're going to want to take that out. That's one of his accessories. Then you're going to want to fold this up. Flip him around to the front. Let me get this wide because he's going to be a little bit taller. You're going to want to take this front grill piece and, oh, that's not going to want to work. Okay, let's come back to that. Open up the doors, kind of like you're actually opening up a car. And then bring this down so the front of him looks just like this with this little silver piece that was on the bottom facing forward. You're going to want to take the hood section in the middle. I'm going to bring out a trusty pair of scissors here. There we go. Trusty pair of scissors, so he looks like this. Then his little head is going to be recessed in there. There's a little tiny tab that you're going to get your fingernails with. I don't have those. I don't have fingernails. Then you're going to want to pull the head up fold this little bit in, fold this down, and boom, you got his head out. Flip these around just like that. Straighten out both of his arms, which are on really tight double elbows. Flip them down and put the doors up. And then you're going to want to take his feet, flip these down, and take his toes as well. You're going to want to get your fingernails in there to the heels. Take my trusty pair of scissors. Nope, those don't even work. Now, this is one problem I did have with the Red Alert figure that unfortunately carried over to here. The heels just don't want to come out. That's a bit of an annoying problem, because those are kind of important for him to, you know, stand. There we go. Oh, that's a big problem with the figure and why I don't transform the original Red Alert. Oh, and inside his little arm leg flaps here, he's going to have his accessories. Now, these are also almost impossible to remove, but that's one of his. Let's get out his other one here. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's both of his accessories. One under the soundboard. And then, once you have all that, line up all of his little bits. And then, don't forget to snap his shins in. Stand him up. And boom. You have Decepticon Medic Flatline. Now, this is a nice figure. I love how he looks. This in the Transformers community is called the Nemesis Prime paint scheme, because they take what is a normal light-colored figure and then make them black and purple or red. Those are the two secondary colors, purple or red. That's what they'll usually do. They chose red for Flatline, and he's really nice. Flatline has never gotten a toy before. He's a very niche character, and he only really ever showed up in a couple of comics and a couple of panels. So it's really nice for fans of him to get a good figure based on a good figure. Now, his features, he has the same features as Red Alert. The Red Alert figure doesn't have two hands. And let's get that in there. Red Alert does not have two hands. This one does, except his left hand can be popped right off. In place of any of those other three accessories, he can have his claw that we took off his back, his little like laser hand cannon thingy. Then my personal favorite to have there is this little silver machine gun. Each of these little barrel accessories are silver, painted over red, clear red paint. So it kind of concerns me for the longevity, because clear plastic isn't exactly known for long lasting forever, but we'll just have to see if it'll withstand the test of time. But that's not even all for his accessories, because he has one more trick up his sleeve. But it's actually up his back. Boom. Shoulder cannon. That's really cool. It folds out from his back just like that. That is something I was saving for robot mode, but you can also do it in vehicle mode too. So he can be kind of a rolling artillery gun. Now you can peg any of these in here. You can peg the machine gun in there. You can peg the laser in there. You can also peg the claw in there for if you want the claw in there. This is how I like to have it. I like to have it over his shoulder. It can even articulate side to side like a tank. That's pretty cool. It can go one side, it can go up, it can go a little bit the other direction. And then if you want his arm off, you can have him a little tiny, have the machine gun there. Kind of reminds me of Shockwave, which is pretty fitting since this guy is a medic. Shockwave is a scientist, but this guy is a medic. He looks really nice. I like this figure. The silvers, the blacks. Ooh, I think the blacks look really nice. They're a nice deep shade. The red makes it all pop. His purple Decepticon insignia stays prominent on the front. This is just a beautiful, beautiful figure. Let's get into his articulation, though, shall we? His head can turn... It can turn all the way around at 360. This shoulder cannon, as I said, can move up and down. His arms can pull a full 360 forwards and backwards. Out to the side, 90 degrees. They can go... They have a 180. They have a maximum elbow. Bicep swivel. Their wrists can swivel on both sides. Even if this wrist is swiveled in, these also, even if I don't have the fist plugged in right now, these can swivel as well, imitating a wrist swivel. His waist can turn. Feet go forwards and backwards, though they're a little inhibited by the backpack. And they will start to move it at a certain point. They go out to the side so he can do the splits. He has a knee bend. And then his feet can go forward for transformation and back because they can. And he has an ankle pivot, brought to us by Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. My favorite toy line. Actually, it might be Age of the Primes this far because they've given us rockin' figures. I just can't get enough of this guy. This guy is going right on the front of my Decepticon shelf at home. And I suggest if you're a fan of Transformers and you like their figures, or if you have a kid that likes their figures, you could pick this guy up for him. This is a nice figure. But that's all that I have time for today. I will see you guys later, and till all are one.